To quote the former TNA champion Sting, it's showtime, baby. What is up, guys? Chase Oliver here, bringing you another live stream here on the Chase Oliver 68 channel. If you guys are listening to this here on YouTube, thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, go ahead and leave a follow. Listen to the episode, even if it's just for 5 minutes. I appreciate you checking me out. This is the wrestling portion that I like to talk about. If you guys do not know, professional wrestling is one of the main things people subscribe to my YouTube channel for. And so we're going to kick off the show talking about a lot of subjects in professional wrestling. And then after the show, if you're live here on YouTube, Q&A. Can ask me any question. But during the show, during most of the show, I'm just going to be talking about the topics here in wrestling. What is up, Ronan Ghost? So, Ronan Ghost, any questions you have? I'm not going to answer them right now. Sorry, my friend. Just letting you know. After I get through the topics, I'll answer the questions. So, you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and leave them later on in the show. I'll let you guys know when it's Q&A time. I got some topics I need to talk about. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. During football season, I don't follow pro wrestling as much as I should. Like, I don't keep up with it as much as I should. I have a lot of different hobbies, and football is one of the biggest hobbies that I love a little bit more than professional wrestling. So I'm just going to let you guys know, I'm going to rely on the YouTube chat a lot, that if I'm wrong in saying something, please let me know. Don't get me wrong. Before the shows, I'm doing my research. I'm double checking, triple checking. But if I'm wrong on something, just know I'm not watching the full episodes of Monday Night Raw. I'm not watching AEW as much. I'm not watching SmackDown as much. I'm just watching the clips. I'm doing my best as I can, watching these abridged versions of the shows. That's how I keep up with wrestling during football season. Ever since fantasy football became a thing where I can win money at the end of the season, it's just been one of those things where professional wrestling has just kind of fallen by the wayside. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Professional wrestling just falls by the wayside because of this, because of the fact that you can make money winning your fantasy football leagues. So that's why, for me personally, I don't pay attention to wrestling that much during the NFL season. It's just one of those things where, hey, you know, as you get older, your taste in things change. What you find entertaining changes. And for me personally, when it comes to it, professional wrestling is not one of those things that I'm like, oh, I gotta watch this every single week. I gotta keep up. No, I fall behind during the NFL season. I ain't afraid to admit that. I do fall behind during the NFL season when it comes to professional wrestling, but I still like talking about it. I still like talking about professional wrestling. Let me share this on the Twitter for all the people that are not here, so that way they know Chase Oliver is streaming. And let's get started with our first topic. By the way, when I do get the chance, guys, all the topics will also be in the little thumbnail in the description box, so you can click on like the timestamp of what I talked about. I don't know why I said thumbnail. Thumbnail is what's on the video. That's what gets you guys to watch. But the first topic I want to talk about, and you guys are more than welcome to chime in the comment section, is MJF. Is he the hottest act right now in the world of professional wrestling? Now, Maxwell Jacob Friedman has been someone that I've personally said that, like, hey, this guy's good. But, you know, a lot of times I felt people kind of overvalued him, kind of, you know, overvalued what he was. I was like, I don't know. I don't think Maxwell Jacob Friedman is that guy. I think he's a guy. You definitely want to build your company around him. But I don't know if he's like that guy. Well, he's proven me wrong. And I love being proven wrong when it comes to professional wrestling. Maxwell Jacob Friedman is the guy. And I think Maxwell Jacob Friedman is the hottest act in professional wrestling. Like, if you were to do a fantasy draft of all the wrestlers today, I think Maxwell Jacob Friedman would be your number one overall pick. I don't think it's that much of a hot take to say that Maxwell Jacob Friedman would be the guy that you would build your company around. That's the truth. That's the way I see it with Maxwell Jacob Friedman. A lot of people will say he's goofy, this, that, or the other. To me personally, he's the hottest act. He's a young talent that just gets it. He understands how to connect with the crowd, heel or babyface, and especially at a heel level. That's rare nowadays in professional wrestling, where someone can connect on that heel level. So for me personally, I think Maxwell Jacob Friedman, this guy's one of the hottest acts in professional wrestling, and that's not changing anytime soon. But you know what's also not changing anytime soon, ladies and gentlemen? Logan Paul versus Roman Reigns. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't see a world where Logan Paul beats Roman Reigns. In fact, I find this match so goofy that they're doing Logan Paul Roman Reigns. This match started on the podcast. Like keep that in mind. This is where professional wrestling is at nowadays. A feud could start because Roman Reigns and Logan Paul started it on a podcast. Logan Paul, after Roman Reigns was on the show, told his buddies Mike and George, "Oh yeah, I think I could beat Roman Reigns. I could believe it." And now they're booking this match. And I get it. It's for the Saudi Arabia show. It's for like those crown jewels events. Those events are not really events where it's like you can get too upset that they do a match like this. Like they're kind of made for it, but just the reasoning behind it, and especially the thing is, I get it. I understand Logan Paul's shtick. His shtick is that people say he can't do it, and then he does it. That's literally his shtick. That's been his shtick for quite some time. I mean, this guy literally was dead in the water here on the internet. It felt like there was no way this guy could recover. He was going to be, he pretty much committed career suicide with what he did on YouTube with the Japanese sports. And now all of a sudden, look at where he's at. Successful podcast, box Floyd Mayweather. Now he's going for the Universal title. He's a WWE superstar going for the Universal title. And so for me personally, Logan Paul doing this, I get it. That's his shtick. That's the gimmick. I just don't think it makes sense for the Universal Championship. I don't think it makes sense that we go out there and do the Universal title match between Logan Paul and Roman Reigns, especially at a big money show. That just doesn't make sense to me. Why do people text me at this time? It's like I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything. I'm working here. I'm doing my thing. As long as Reigns retains, I'm cool with it. It's a way to get some mainstream coverage. It is, but it's with that one show where you know social media is negative towards the Saudi shows. It's the Saudi show, Philip. You know, those are the shows that a lot of people look at and they're negative towards. So I don't know if that, like, to me, it's almost like at a cost loss. Like you're doing this, but at the same time, is it really, 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 really gainful? Are you gaining anything out of this? Maybe YouTube clips, maybe Twitter clips, the playbacks for those videos will be nice. But I don't know if you're really gaining anything from this. I'm just being honest when I say that. But then we're going to move on from the Logan Paul and Roman Reigns stuff right now. We're going to talk about the thing that everyone's talking about on the internet, the White Rabbit. If you guys don't know, WWE has had this little White Rabbit cryptic code for the last week or so, and pretty much a lot of people assume the White Rabbit to be Oogly Boogly Bray Wyatt, that Bray Wyatt will be making his return to the WWE soon enough. And really, to be honest, I don't care. I know a lot of people are going to say, Chase, are you excited for the White Rabbit? I don't care. I made a video on this channel. I did a live stream saying the Fiend is dead. That character is dead to me. I don't care that Bray Wyatt's going to come back. If you're excited for Bray Wyatt to come back, awesome, great. I'm just not on that train. I don't get it. This is what Bray Wyatt does. He talks to you in these songs and tones. He says all these things, and then you ring the bell and nothing happens. There's no substance. The guy just talks. He talks, but there's no substance whatsoever. So for me personally, I'm not excited for this White Rabbit stuff. I know a lot of people are. I think the White Rabbit thing, the only funny thing about the White Rabbit thing is this, that wrestling fans are finally like Googling stuff. And I'm like, man, doesn't it fit your argument when you ask who's this wrestler, but yet you're Googling stuff for all these locations because the White Rabbit QR code told you to do so? Like I find it hilarious. Wrestling fans are all like, we don't want to do extra research, but to figure out who this White Rabbit is, we are. Just bring Bray Wyatt out. Just have the Fiend come out. Just do whatever. Just do whatever. What's up, Yogan Keen? How you doing, my friend? But yeah, the White Rabbit stuff, I really don't care. It's one of those scenes where it's just like, Bray Wyatt's coming back. Great. Awesome. Have fun with Bray Wyatt. Do your thing, Bray. Do your thing. If you're excited, like I said, cool. For me personally, I'm not excited for Bray Wyatt coming back. But you know what I'm excited about is Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. I think Sami Zayn and the Bloodline is one of the best storylines WWE has going for it. It's a long-term storyline. It has some great videos. It has some great interactions. I mean, that T-shirt segment was so damn good. You thought finally Roman Reigns was going to be pissed at Sami Zayn, that our tribal chief was going to kick out the honorary Uso. You felt bad for Sami. You were like, oh man, Sammy's finally going to get it. Sammy's finally going to be kicked out of the bloodline. This is it. Sammy's done. Jey Uso ripped off the bloodline shirt that he's been wearing for the last 2 months, 3 months. Who knows if he's even washed it? Oh, this is it finally. But no, Roman Reigns goes and hands him an honorary Uso shirt. The tribal chief is back. He's here. He's here. And he's going to make sure Sami Zayn is now part of it. He's an honorary Uso. And the rest of the family seems like they're going to welcome him. The rest of the family seems like it's going to help him. Welcome him. Rikishi said, call me. Call me, Uso. I've been loving this Sami Zayn stuff. I've been loving what they're doing with Sami Zayn and the tribal chief. I think it's going to be a great turn when Sami Zayn does finally become a babyface or becomes, the character that you want to be. I think this has been some of the best work that Sami Zayn's done in his career. And then final wrestling topic before we get into the Q&A portion of the stream. Once again, guys, like I said, during football season, I don't follow wrestling that much. I just talk about stuff that I feel are interesting. And also, too, if people want to tune in and say, Chase, what are your thoughts on this? What are your thoughts on this? They don't have to go through the whole Q&A just to get my thoughts. Hey, get my wrestling thoughts now. You guys can ask whatever questions later. That's pretty much it. And this makes it easier for people who don't want to sit through an hour-long Q&A. So this is why I'm doing this format. I know it's not the most sufficient way, but it's the easiest way. And when someone says, Chase, what are your thoughts on the White Rabbit? Here's the link. Here's the timestamp. You're welcome. There. You don't have to go through a 20-minute Q&A where someone asked it 20 minutes in. AEW contract situation. So if you guys don't know, there's been a lot of confusing reports, rumors. I don't know what they're called, but a lot of confusing stuff happening with AEW and their contracts, specifically revolving Malachi Black. We don't know what's been going on with Malachi Black. He wants his release from All Elite Wrestling, but then at the same time, it's not really a release. I don't know what's going on with Malachi Black. All I know is this. I'm just going to be straight out and flat and honest when I say this. If you sign a contract, that's on you. And I get that sometimes you're not happy in the place that you're at. I get that you may want to leave said place. But when you sign that dotted line, you got to fulfill that duty. That's just me. And if you need to leave the place, find a way where you guys can work it out. And it seemed like that was the issue. It seems like AEW and Malachi Black found the issue where it's like, hey, I want to still wrestle, but not with AEW. And AEW said, okay, well, we're not going to release you from this contract because, like, we know where it's like where you could possibly go, and it doesn't matter how many restrictions we have. We're not going to release you, but we will let you wrestle certain independents and do your thing. But then there was a lot of confusion, a lot of misrepresentation, and that's why I always tell people when people send me these, like people will send me wrestling stories, and I'll just be like, okay, I'll wait. And everyone goes, what are your thoughts now? What is there to think about? I don't know the whole situation. Can I wait until I hear something from a credible source and then I will give you my thoughts? Because really, to be honest, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, look at the dirt sheets. They misreported it. Yeah, they did. Some of the dirt sheets did. Not all of them. Some of them even said it was a conditional release. They didn't clarify what that meant. But a lot of people, and especially when it comes to wrestling, they don't know how to read. I know that. A lot of wrestling fans don't read in general. So I don't know what is or is not considered a conditional release. I don't know what that means. Well, I know what it means, but I know a lot of people would not know what that meant. You guys get what I'm saying with this. But all I'm saying with this AEW contract situation is that when it comes down to it, Malachi Black is going to get what he wants. He's going to take a break. I wish him nothing but the best. But a lot of you guys, when it comes to these contracts and everything like that, just know we don't know the whole situation with these contracts. These contracts are just all over the place, especially in the world of professional wrestling. There's no guarantee what each contract means, you know. All I know is this: if you're a wrestler and you sign a contract and you want out, that's on you for signing said contract. You know, and trust me, I've been in situations because there's contracts where I work and stuff like that. I've turned down jobs that would pay me more money. And do you know why? Sometimes I turn down jobs that pay me more money. Do you know why? Because I read the contract and I said, man, I don't want this contract. This contract said, especially if you fire me, I don't get most of that contract back. I just pretty much get what I'm probably making anyways. So that's what I'm saying. If you guys, life advice for me, if you guys ever get offered any sort of contract, read it. Read it. Even if it's like for a smaller job like Target or something, read it. Because you do not want to get dicked over. You want to make sure you know the rules and parameters behind the contract. So there you have it. If you guys have any questions, please send them my way. I will answer as many as I can in a short time. Guys, I'm a busy human being. So I know a lot of you guys don't believe me, but I am really, 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 really fucking busy. So I know I don't come on here and stream a lot. I know that. I get it. I know you guys like asking me a lot of questions. So sometimes when I come on for these Q&As, you gotta come in. And also too, I do appreciate you guys if you guys even tune in and watch me doing other stuff too. I get it that, you know, maybe other channels that I'm on, you guys won't come because it's not the Chase Oliver experience. But I do appreciate if I see you guys in the chat room for True Heel Heat or Around the Point. That right there is what I appreciate. I appreciate those people who show up for those more than those who don't, because that shows to me that you guys are like rocking with me no matter where I go. Because sometimes for me, guys, setting up, doing all this stuff, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes. So I do appreciate if you guys do come in and you guys support me on other streams. So yeah. Chief kicks off the Q&A asking, will you be playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 2022? You know, Chief, I'm retired from these multiplayer shooters. I don't have a crew to play them with anymore. I'm older now, so I don't really have the time to grind and figure out the patch notes and figure out what's good or fun. I don't find it fun casually too to just get my ass kicked in Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't find it fun just to like turn on a game and be upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not me right now. I don't like playing Call of Duty anymore. So for me personally, I'm just letting you guys know right now, I don't play Call of Duty anymore. I don't. I like my single player story modes where there's no rush in me playing them whatsoever. Philip M6, that's a beautiful question, because if you look on the description box down below, those are all the channels I'll appear on. And I'll always promote what channels I will appear on on Twitter. So please follow Twitter if you guys want to know what channels I appear on. Sorry if I pause when my dogs bark. I always just freak out because I don't know why they're barking so much. Do you like Austin? Okay, I think Ronan Ghost, I think we've been clear on Austin Theory. I don't think he's that good. I think you've asked me this before, and I've literally told you he's not good. His mic skills are okay. I don't think he plays a good heel. I think he's a better babyface than a heel, especially if you hear him talk without acting like a wrestler. Wrestling ability, he's like a monkey throwing shit on the wall. I don't know what his moveset is. It's kind of bad. And so that's just it. How will Hamzat do at middleweight? Yagan, Yagan, you got to look through our Twitter DMs. We talked about it. Yagan, if you ask me a question on Twitter through DMs, please do not ask me on YouTube, because we talked about it. If we talked about it in private, I don't know why I need to say it in public. But when it comes down to it, we all know Hamzat's going to do well in middleweight. It's a shallow division. There's not a lot of tough competitors there. Maybe Vettori might give him a little bit of a shock scare. I think Bobby Knuckles will be his hardest fight besides the champion or Pereira. Honestly, if Pereira loses, I would give Hamzat and Pereira, just so that way Hamzat could avoid facing could avoid facing a Robert Whittaker type. Does the White River Rabbit give you a PTSD of a certain acquaintance of Adam Rose? If it was Vince, I would definitely be worried that the Bucking Bunny would be coming back for sure. I'd definitely be worried. Colby isn't going to go baby. Colby's going to be what Colby is. That's it. He's going to do the same thing. Greetings, nerds and virgins, all that other stuff. Colby's not changing his gimmick for Hamzat Chimaev. Do you see good upside potential with Tiffany Stratton? Oh, yeah. Tiffany Stratton's a good wrestler. I think she's really good. I think that they need to change up some things about her. I think the gimmick she has is kind of like, it's like the basic type of gimmick. So to me personally, like she's good in the ring though. I wish Theory would shave his mustache. Looks like a fast food cashier. I don't even know about that, but I guess. What are your thoughts on Paige returning to AEW, even though she's not fully medically cleared to wrestle yet? Honestly, I think that it's a good gamble. I mean, if you get only like 2 or 3 matches out of her, I guess that's it. It's up to her. It's up to Tony Khan. Like, what does Tony Khan think is good for Paige or Saraya signing to AEW? This is more of like, I understand where Tony Khan's coming from, and it's cool that Paige can make some money with the company. It's really cool. But like for me, I'm like, if you're not fully medically cleared, what is the goal? Because like I feel like she has to win one of the titles. Like I feel like for this to be a success, she needs to win one of the titles. I mean, tonight she was all talking about it being a revolution and stuff. I think Jake said that he would actually go. What's it called? I think Jake said that he would actually go to Saudi before his fight with Anderson, no, it'll be after Anderson. So depending on how he does it, honestly, you don't bring in Jake Paul unless like he wins, because once Jake Paul loses, everything about him kind of goes downhill. Who do you see dethroning Mandy Rose's NXT Women's Championship, which will possibly surpass Asuka's reign? What's her name now? Alba. It's like not Kaylee Ray anymore. Alba Fire. That girl. I think she is. They're building her up really well from the clips that I've seen. Best heel in MMA of all time. Tito Ortiz. No one liked him. Tim Sylvia. He walked around a grocery store with his belt. Will Sasha Banks return to wrestling? I don't know if Sasha Banks will, but I believe Mercedes Morano will. If Saraya can't wrestle, she will work as a man. No. Philip, I don't think you saw the promo tonight. Manager or commentator, no. That was a dog doo-doo promo by Paige tonight. 6 years since the most overused MMA gift. Who the fuck is that guy? Dude, time flies by. What? Yagan King, do you not look at our DMs or something? I saw this. I swear, man, you got to look at your DMs, my friend. I'm sorry, Yagan King. For me, one of my biggest pet peeves is this: when people repeat stuff to me, like I didn't see it or I didn't acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing against you. It's just a pet peeve of mine where it's like, if you already told me this, why are you telling me this again? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just me. When's Captain Insano coming to AEW? That's a great question. Tony Khan promised this guy, and where's Big Show? My man Big Show, like he went on Talk is Jericho. He was upset. He was like, "Yeah, WWE don't know how to use me." What has AEW done with you, Big Show? You haven't done anything, Mr. Paul White. Man, does AEW not do a good job treating ex-WWE guys? What are they supposed to do? Like, that's a genuine question. Ronan goes, what are they supposed to do with these guys? Because to me personally, it is what it is. If you're good, you're good. If you're not, you're not. Like, not everyone can be used at the same time. It's up to Tony Khan to decide who he wants to use, how he executes them using. Now, if you're saying, Chase, does he not execute the ex-WWE guys well? Yeah, we can have that discussion. But how is he supposed to treat them? Just because they came from WWE doesn't mean they get treated better. Who cares? When you come to AEW, guess what? You're back on the you're back on the bottom of the totem pole. You're not what they call at the top. You're back on the bottom. That's how it used to work back in the day for the territories. You started from the top, and when you left that other territory, you went to the bottom. Now, not every guy was like that. Some guys, got better better treatment than others, but you get what I'm saying. I don't know what you're. I don't know. Like I don't feel like he needs to treat them any better. Like it's not like he's. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know. I feel a lot of these ex WWE guys have been treated pretty damn well in AEW. I mean, what the AEW Championship? How many ex WWE guys have held it? Like 3. Punk, Jericho, and Moxley. Moxley's held 3 times. Oh yeah, Philip. It was pretty bad. Paige was all over the place with her promo. I don't know what she was trying to do. Yeah, it was 2 years ago, man. Crazy. Dustin Soyboy Perry. Yep. Interesting cat. Do you think it's time for Tony Khan to start trimming the fat? No, because here's the thing. He starts trimming, and then situations like, for example, he had to suspend 3 of his EVPs. What if Jericho gets injured? What if Moxley gets injured? What if Danielson gets injured? Like, that's the thing. He can't just trim fat. I get where people are coming from. Oh, he has too much people. Sometimes having too much talent is a good thing. Having too much talent is a good thing because you can have it where said talent can be used if, what's it called? Oh my God, why are my dogs barking like crazy right now? Jesus, it's bugging my fucking ears. But yeah, if you trim the fat now, guess what? WWE is just going to take them. Other companies are going to take them. So yeah. Yagon King, as long as you don't ask me to book shit, as long as you don't ask me top 5, like the banned questions for the Chase Oliver Q&A are booking questions because it takes me a while to think and I don't like to book on the fly. It's not fun for me. And top 5s. If you guys ask top 5 or booking questions, I just ignore them. But what if questions? Sure. Don't say, but can you break it down for me? No, I'm not breaking it down for you. If you ask me a what if question, I'll answer how I feel like what would happen. That's it. Like just know booking questions and top 5s gone, just absolutely gone. I don't like talking about them. Which walkout affected Chase the most? Probably Austin, because I didn't know what the hell was going on. Brock, Punk, Sasha, Naomi, I was much older, like especially Punk. I was much older. I understood that he was done. And Sasha and Naomi, I was like, cool, good for them, standing up for WWE. Austin, I'm a little kid still watching. Brock, I remember reading in a magazine he was going and stuff like that. So I feel like both of you have seen Marina Shafir's If You Don't Know Me, You Know Me promo. Oh yeah, no, it's great. It's great. Do I have any early predictions for Extreme Rules? I think Riddle should win the fight pit match for sure. I think McIntyre should beat Cross in the strap match, but knowing them, they're going to give it to Cross. I would want Bianca to retain the title, but I feel like they're going to switch it to Bayley, which kind of makes sense. But I feel like Bianca should win the title. Ronda should win against Liv Morgan, and that's all I know off the top of my head of what's going on. No, Yagon King, the reason why I get mad is this. The reason why I get mad is this. One, I've talked about before. If you DM me something on Twitter, you don't need to remind me in the Q&As because for me, it's just a pet peeve when you remind me stuff that we already talked about. 2, you are in every Q&A. You should know what questions I don't like being asked, which are top 5s and booking questions. But I'm saying if you give me a what if and if you don't like my answer, DM me and we can go into deeper detail. We can go into deeper detail about it. But if you ask me a what if question, don't expect a 2-year-long booking process. Like, because the thing with Q&As, the questions pile up. And then I get people being mad because, oh, Chase, you're not looking at my question. You took too long on this question. That's why. Sometimes with the Q&A, oh yeah, see, Phil got a troll one. This was a good troll one, man. Because like the thing with top 5s is this: top 5s on the spot are not fun. Because I'm trying to think. Okay, what am I going to post? What am I going to think about and stuff like that? What was your first wrestling experience for you seeing it on? What was your first wrestling experience for you seeing on TV? The list of Jericho's 1004 holds in WCW. I was flipping through the channels on my grandparents' TV, and I thought it was boxing, and it turned out to be wrestling, and that was my first ever wrestling experience that I can vividly remember. I'm pretty sure I saw some WWF back in the day, but WCW is what I saw. If Brett didn't get concussed, who would Chase want to see Brett wrestle? In WCW, I don't know, man. At that time, man, fuck. Who was he wrestle? Who was there for him to wrestle? I don't even know, dude. I'm not really a big Bret Hart guy either. Like Bret Hart's kind of like he's good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not like the biggest Bret Hart guy, especially in WCW. He wasn't moving that well, anyways. Bret didn't get concussed. I guess like Jarrett. I don't think him and Jarrett really got like a really good match, right? Booker T would have been a good match too. I'm pretty sure he's wrestled these guys. I just don't remember off the top of my head. Joke question aside, favorite food. I know it's a generic question, but I feel it might be one of those obvious it's never asked questions. No, I believe it's been asked like a bunch of times. My favorite food, honestly, man, like I don't really have like a favorite food. Like I like chicken. Chicken's like one of the things that like I can just eat regularly. Chicken, rice, broccoli. I know it sounds like the most boring answer, but that's like the food that like, like especially like growing up and like playing sports, like that's what you ate. Like that's what you're eating to maintain weight, to cut weight and stuff like that. That's what I ate. Did you see Dudley Boy's ECW Heaven promo in the ring? Stuff they said wouldn't fly nowadays. Oh yeah, dude. All these ECW promos, man. If you watch any old ECW, none of the stuff these people would say would fly nowadays, man. If Brett came back in 01 to WWE, who would Chase want to see him wrestle with if he didn't get concussed? Oh, in WWE, let's see. A match with Austin would be good again. I mean, they had great chemistry. Obviously, The Rock. I don't think Brett and Rock really wrestled when The Rock was at his peak. I wouldn't mind 02 Shawn Michaels. Him and Brett would have like a good, like unsanctioned type of match. Triple H, not really Triple H. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe also Guerrero. I think Guerrero would have been like a fun filler match for him. So yeah, those are the people that come into mind. Are there any original Netflix series you're currently watching? For me, is Stranger Things and Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I just finished up Dahmer, but other than that, no. I prefer HBO Max's catalog, Hulu's catalog, and stuff like that. What up, Jackhammer City? How you doing, my friend? Hope everything's well. Brett and Brock would be killer in 03. See, I wouldn't care for that. Brett and Kurt. I guess Brett and Kurt Angle, but Brett and Brock. Oh no, dude. Brock would concuss Brett. Then Brett, instead of bitch about Goldberg, he would bitch about Brock. He was unsafe. That belly to belly really fucked me up. So yeah, no, I don't want to see that. He's gonna complain about Brock. We don't need that. No, referee bumps are not that overused. They're good ways to set up tension and drama. Like they're good for that. I think the most overused spot nowadays is a suicide dive. I feel like that's like what every wrestler does before commercial break nowadays is they just do a suicide dive and they go in the ring, they pump up the crowd, and then we're told, oh, we're coming back after commercial break. Most overrated finisher. You can reveal underrated too if you feel like it. Overrated, huh? God dang, dude. I don't know, man. Like, what's an overrated finisher? I like finishers. Finishers are like my favorite thing in wrestling. Underrated finishers, there's more underrated that I can think of than overrated. Like, there's a lot of good underrated finishers that like a lot of people are just don't respect. I like the Judas effect by Chris Jericho. I think that's an underrated finisher that he's using nowadays. I love the flying knee by Bryan Danielson. I even like the playmaker. Remember when MVP used to do that? I love the pay dirt, like Ron Killens, Shelton Benjamin. They used to do that all the time. Yeah, I'm more of an under. I don't think there's any overrated finishers. Isn't it hypocritical to wrestling fans how they said WWE should create new stars, but then when Carl Gonzalez and Leela win the tag team belts and internet shits on it for getting the NXT Gold and Black era? Well, okay, I feel the internet was just on that, not because they weren't trying to create new stars, but they had no reason to win the tournament. They had no reason. like I'm sorry, like no offense to Raquel and Aaliyah, but they had no reason to win that tournament. Wrestling back then in the old days legit had more passionate people since wrestling had more legacy families like Guerrero, the Hart family. Why don't we see too many wrestling families? I think the kids, they just don't have the genes. They don't have the blood to like their parents had. Like the parents are the ones that had the blood and everything like that. I don't. I just think nowadays their kids, they're the ones that don't have like the genes for it. They get the genes. We'll have to wait for their grandkids before we start hearing those families again. Do you think EC3 going to WWE was a waste of time? I think anything with EC3 is a waste of time. Yeah, no, it was. They didn't know how to use EC3 at that time, and he was coming off a really good TNA run. Whose shoe promo was better, Punk in 2011 or MJF in 2022? Well, so far, MJF in 2022, it's actually doing shit. Punk's didn't do shit. It's just something that we repeat every single year, but nothing changed from it. MJF, it seems like something's actually changing. Oh, that's a bad finisher. I don't think it's overrated. Like overrated, people need to understand. Sometimes certain terms get used. Overrated means like everyone loves it, and you don't see why everyone loves it. The Wasteland was just bad. Like it was such a stupid finish. Like it looked like it would hurt Wade. Like the two bad finishers from wrestlers I like: Wade Barrett's Wasteland and Big E's Big Ending. Because I feel like that would hurt them more than it hurts the opponent. Because Wade Barrett literally has to throw his whole back just to throw someone off. Like that looks so bad. And then Biggie's Big Ending, they're landing on his like arm and tricep. Like that looks like it hurts more. Damage Control is cool. Like they're doing their thing. I don't know what the end game is. There's no end game. It's just kind of like it's three cool women with each other. Raquel and Aaliyah's title reign being cut short really didn't help it. No. What's your favorite WrestleMania pyro? Mine's 23. Oh, 24 all day. 24 is like one of my favorites just aesthetically. Do you think Dominic Mysterio should improve his moveset nowadays with Judgment Day? He should, but I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to, but he should. Oh man. Well, I don't know. That's a tough question, Jackhammer City. Because here's the thing: there's two different power scaling for doing here. We're dealing with Chakra and we're dealing with Ned. Ned has a bunch of different rules. Chakra doesn't. I go with Kid Naruto on this one, just because Nen it's a little bit more limiting, and especially the type of Nen that Gon has. He would have to turn into that adult form, but then Naruto can turn into Kurama, and even if he has no control, I still think he would kick his ass. Did you see Cody Rhodes' weight belts? Yeah, I don't use a weight belt in general, but if I did use a weight belt, I would buy it. Pretty nice product. I think people are just not into wrestling the same way since more people have gravitated towards MMA more. Yagan King, sometimes I feel like you in your own like circle. I know you say your group of friends are MMA. I understand that, but I'm saying a lot of times we don't see wrestling families are because these kids aren't that good. The kids that grew up in these wrestling families end up not being so good. I think the thing is MMA, it's a tough sport. And a lot of times, a lot of mixed martial artists, they tend to transition more going into professional wrestling than they do sticking with mixed martial arts. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and if you look at the stats, man, you would be surprised. You like to quote Joe Rogan, you'd be surprised how many mixed martial artists or people who are trained to be MMA stars end up doing professional wrestling. And I think that's good. I think more people that do well in MMA or even be somewhat successful in MMA are good for wrestling. But I don't think MMA, like, especially when you look at the ratings, Yagan Keen, look at the ratings for some of these UFC Apex shows. They're not good, man. They're just not drawing. I don't think MMA is still growing too. Like, we need to understand this. MMA is still in its infancy stages. A lot of people think MMA is like this great thing. No, MMA will have its hot moments, but it's still in its infancy stages when it comes to wrestling families. Oh, okay. No, but Nen's limiting. Nen, it depends on the rules of Nen. He can't just use it. We got to go based off the power scaling. Bro, I am not caught up on One Piece. I don't even know what the hell's going on One Piece. Hulk Hogan be like, say your prayers and take your steroids. Yeah, why not? Oh, yeah, the shell shock. I felt the shell shock looked good for Ryback for sure. Do you think that Dominic should have gone to NXT? He should have, but Rey Mysterio wasn't allowing it. Am I following one championship where Mounty Miles Demetrius Johnson is competing nowadays? I don't like one championship because I don't like their cutting system. I think a lot of the guys are on steroids too. They look like they're jacked to the gills. But I will watch Demetrius Johnson if he fights. He won his last fight and he looked absolutely impressive. So good on DJ. Welcome back to being a champion. But other than that, no, I don't follow one. I only really follow Bellator out and PFL outside of UFC stuff. Have you been in a wrestling before and you've been slammed? Does it hurt a lot or not that much? It hurts, bro. I've been in a wrestling ring. That's like the hard part. What people don't understand, people think these ropes are springy. They're stiff, bro. Like it depends on the ring. Some ropes are a little bit more like bungee. Some ropes are just stiff, and the reason why they're so stiff is so that way it's easier if you go to the top turnbuckle. It's easier if you need to run them and stuff. But the rope, honestly, the ropes hurt more than the ring sometimes. When you go off the ropes, they hurt more than the ring. The ring, after a couple bumps, it's kind of like skateboarding. If you ever skateboarded as a kid or if you ever fell as a kid, like I feel like because I used to skateboard and I used to fall a lot, that like bumping in a ring's nothing. You when you do it and you just like love that feeling, it sucks at first because when you fall on your back, keep in mind you got to fall on your back a lot in wrestling. So the ring, it hurts, and also it depends too who's giving you. I feel like it hurts more when you're in control, but if someone else is in control and they're taking care of you, it doesn't hurt as much. I don't know if you answered this since my work keep badly time with your videos, but what are your thoughts on Judgment Day? They stink. I mean, my boy Finn Balor is running it. What do you think? What do you think my thoughts on Judgment Day are? They stink. Although Kong can scale to pre-rolls, Yagan King once again. Nen is different than Chakra. I don't understand this. When I make a good, valid point, that's why. Kid Sasuke versus Kid Neji at the Chunin exam. Who would win? See, that's the fight we should have gotten at Naruto. That would have been a good. Because see, I feel like what they should have done in Naruto is Kid Neji whips the fuck out of Sasuke. And then that's like something like, oh shit, Sasuke even trained with Kakashi. He's not even good enough. And then when Naruto beats up Neji, that's when Sasuke starts getting pissed. Like that would have been better. Which boxers do you want to see in the next box game, which was previously named Esports Boxing Club to Undisputed? Well, they already have them all. Ronan Goats. I think Crawford, Spence. I think a lot of boxers are actually in the game that I want in the game. So name a boxer that's in the game, and I'll tell you, yeah, I'm probably excited. Well, Eddie Alvarez said that he will only go to who's going to pay him money. Like, here's the thing with Eddie Alvarez. He's a legend in the sport. I think he's a legend. I don't think he's like a Hall of Famer, but he's a legend. Had incredible wars with the younger Michael Chandler and Bellator and stuff. And really, to be honest, like he said, he will only go to somewhere that will pay him the money. He's not going to take a pay cut, nor should he. He's earned the right to ask for whatever money he wants. He's a big name in the sport. Not like a huge name, but if Eddie Alvarez is on the card, more people are going to pay attention. UFC 4 kind of stinks. I play it just because it's a UFC game. It's probably one of the more polished UFC games, but UFC 4 kind of stinks, man. It's not good. They don't update their rosters like they should. Fighter models look terrible, and there's no difference in fighting styles, in my personal opinion. No, I don't think they need it. Because the problem is with I feel like WWE adding like a division belt does nothing for the company. Because then people are gonna be like, oh, he's only a light heavyweight. So then you're gonna have these arguments. It's stupid. It's dumb. Just no division belts. Just if you're gonna do a division belt, treat it like the X division. My choice is the armboard, but it doesn't look painful to me, and it looks like the users are hugging the opponent's arm. Same with the STF, but I've seen a lot of people shit on the STF, so I can't call that overrated. Oh, I guess a lot of submission moves are kind of goofy because you're supposed to look like it hurts, but it doesn't. How much influence will Habib have in MMA for the future when it comes to fighters? A lot of influence, actually. A lot of people will try to follow his code and what he represented, and his style was just very, very, very dominant, and it's something that a lot of people try to achieve is that same dominance that Habib Nurmagomedov showed inside the octagon. I think a lot of people will want to do what Habib does. So yeah. Do you think WWE should have had a middleweight championship belt and a light heavyweight championship belt? Like I said, no, because championship belts, weight class belts are not a good idea. Like, unless they can build it up where, like, hey, middleweight's like the lower tier, light heavyweight's like the second tier, and then normally, like, after a couple times at light heavyweight, you go for the heavyweight belt. But the problem is, man, like I said, people are going to use these weight classes and be like, oh, if he's a middleweight, why should he go for the heavyweight, you know? He was gonna box Eddie Alvarez De La Hoya. What a weirdo, bro. Why would you bite Eddie Alvarez? Box Eddie Alvarez? That's crazy. Habib is gonna have his own dungeon like the Hearts. I wouldn't go that far. I think you have to be Dagestan to go onto Habib's farm. He won't let non-Dagestans on the farm. Do I have any concerns for the upcoming NCAA game? Oh, straight shooter. I'm so nervous for that game. I can't. Uh, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel it's not going to be good. It's going to be. I'm going to play because it's college football, but I don't think it's going to be good. Some people say you can adjust the ring to make it a bit bouncier or stiffer. I honestly, you want a stiffer ring because to me, bouncier, you got to have stability underneath there. So stiffer the better. Like I said, your opponent can control you really well, and it's up to you too where you land and stuff. Would you rather get a hug from Care Bear or wear the jersey of your least favorite NFL team for 30 minutes? Oh, wear a jersey. Fuck Care Bear. CM Punk. That Aaron Carter was so ass when he fought. CM Punk at least looked competent in there. Aaron Carter looked like he didn't belong. Super Saiyan Vegeta versus War. Okay, Jackhammer City. I'm just going to put it straight to you. You name any Dragon Ball character. I don't give a fuck what anime it is. They are winning. They are 100% winning. Dragon Ball's power scaling is so broken. I'm just being honest with you. Naruto and Sasuke, they could team up against Vegeta. Vegeta will wreck those boys. Like Naruto and Sasuke, in terms of power scaling to Dragon Ball levels, no matter how strong they look, they're pretty much like Android 19. Like they're not that strong compared to like a lot of teams. Like, yeah, they're like Android 19. They're not even like, you know what? They're even like second form Frieza. They're not even final form Frieza. They're second form Frieza. Vegeta just has to turn Super Saiyan. And that's it. Oh, well, it's Saiyan Saga Vegeta, so maybe he struggles a little bit. But then again, I think he's a little bit stronger than those guys. He's still a little bit stronger. Because I tell people, Chakra's different. Chakra's different. And also, too, Saiyans get stronger as they battle. So if he loses a couple times, Vegeta will just come back stronger. Rey Mysterio is not a heavyweight, and he's been heavyweight champion. No, I know that, Oki. But what I'm trying to say is that people, if you have like the divisional belts, people use those belts against them for whatever reason. WWE should run it back with Owens and Roman again since Owens is face again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a filler feud that they're thinking about. I think before War Games, that wouldn't be a bad filler feud. Yeah, exactly. Like Naruto and Sasuke are not that strong. Like they're strong in the terms of Naruto, but in the terms of what's it called? In the terms of Dragon Ball, they're not that strong. Like I said, the strongest they can be is like Android 19 or Frieza's second form level, you know? Who would win? Beerus or Master Roshi's pet turtle? Turtle's pretty rough, man. I mean, he pretty strong, like power level 1 or something like that. Beerus would wreck him, dude. Beerus is one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball. Who do you think in baseball is getting a lot of attention for Aaron Judge potentially break? Why do you think baseball isn't getting a lot of attention for Aaron Judge potentially breaking the most home runs in the season? Well, he's not going to break most home runs in the season technically because it's like 88 in the 90s. He'll break the AL record, but not the overall record. I think it's just because baseball is at that point where it's just like it's a highlight sport now. It's not we got to watch the full game type of sport. That's how I feel like it is nowadays. Which Grand Theft Auto game did you like the best? San Andreas. That's my favorite Grand Theft Auto game. It's the one I grew up with. It's the one that I played the most. So San Andreas, for sure. Oh, sorry, guys. I freaking was checking my text messages. People were messaging. My work is funny. When I'm at work, they don't bug me. But then when I'm not at work, they're texting me like crazy. It's absolutely hilarious how this works out. I'm all gonna be busy tomorrow, man. It's gonna be a busy day for me tomorrow. I already know that. I actually got to go to bed soon because I got to wake up early. I'm doing an early day. I'm gonna wake up early and leave early from work. Feel like I've earned it. Couple more questions, then I'm out of here. Yeah, Jeff Hardy's heel turn's great, but yeah, it's this theme song was amazing. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't think it hurts anything of Logan's what happened in Logan. I think fans are just being too gatekeeping for no reason. Whose hair is more spiky? Yugi's or Goku's? Oh, Yugi's. Yugi's hair is more spiky, bro. He gets more spiky as it goes along too, man. When he's ready to duel. Oh man, I saw Adidas is coming out with some Yu-Gi-Oh sneakers. You best believe I'm getting on those, man. I do not care. I'll rock a blue eyes white dragon on my feet. I'll rock the blue eyes white dragon. Rah, rah, rah. It's one of my favorite monsters, bro. It sucks that like those decks stink in Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays, but it is what it is. Ugh. That's what I normally do Wednesdays. I don't even watch AEW on live. I watch AEW via the tapes. I go to my local. I found a card shop here, man. It's super sick. So One Piece, like there's a good way for there's a good way for people to get into it. It's up to them to do the research to get into it. So yeah. Biden wears diapers. That's a funny name. Heel Jeff Party without the Immortal stable would have worked, especially at a stable of darkness, adding Abyss and more dark characters. Immortal was weird for Jeff Party. I don't know why. Oh, it just made no sense. Like I don't understand all those stables back when TNA was doing it. There's too much factions. Dude, Kaiba's done. I think our boy Seto Kaiba's done. Seto Kaiba's in great retirement, man. He's done dueling. Dude, like this time last year, I was rewatching like Yu-Gi-Oh and Yu-Gi-Oh GX and Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds when I was at work because like it's a cartoon show. You can just put in the earpiece, you can just listen to it and stuff. And dude, some of this shit, dude, I was like, bro, Yu-Gi-Oh was super insane, bro. Some of this stuff, man. We had AIs taking over blimps. He sent a deck to space, and oh my god, like just random ass shit. I'm like, what the hell? That's how much I don't even remember that. I don't remember the 2003 Hero Run. I think I was in and out of wrestling at that time. 90s animes and 2000 animes were the best days. They're good. What are some games on your PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 console did you platinum? I haven't platinum shit. I tried to platinum Ratchet and Clank and didn't get around to it. I don't know. I'm not like a trophy guy like that. I kind of just play the game for the story. So I don't know, man. My voice is kind of cracked right now. I don't think I can do the Connor one. Something something like, thank you for voting me as president. Flip on 12 for everyone. Let's get this morning started. Attitude Era was better than Ruthless Aggression Era if you look at the numbers. Have you ever broken an arm or leg? Nah, dude. I've never broken anything. I've just had tears. Like I tore my PCL in football, but when I went, so all my tears, all my injuries that I've ever had. So these are the 3 injuries I've ever had. I tore my PCL in football and stuff like that. I went to a doctor and I pretty much said, "Oh, can I play on it?" and stuff. Like for one day it hurt. And then afterwards, my doctor's like, "Oh no, here's some painkillers. you don't need to get surgery on it. It's not that bad, to be honest. It will just heal on its own. Just take it easy for the next couple weeks in practice. I just listened to what he said. I took it easy, and I felt good ever since. Like sometimes so it's in this knee. Sometimes this knee will hurt, but PCLs, like, they're one of those injuries. If they happen, they happen. And so that was my junior year. And then my junior year, I hurt my back. I was wrestling some kid, and he dropped me on my neck. And thankfully, my neck didn't get injured, but my back got injured. So I have a pretty decently bad back and stuff, but it's not too terrible. It's just injured. And then my bicep, I tore that in wrestling, and that was my most, like, minus my back. My back always hurts, but my bicep injury was the most painful injury I had. And I literally thought I was going to have to get surgery, man. I literally thought, okay, this is definitely a surgery. I remember going to the doctor. My doctor literally said, yeah, just ice it. Just ice it. I was like, oh, just ice my back? Yeah, just ice it. Just like ice my bicep. Yeah. Are you sure? And like, it looked weird, my bicep. So I got like a brace for it, and I would just ice it, but I still wrestled with it. Like, I had like a torn bicep my whole like sophomore year in wrestling, which sucked. So yeah, that was pretty much my 3 injuries, but I never like broken a leg or a foot or anything like that. All right, let's see. Bianca Blair should turn heel. I don't like her as a face. It got stale for me. Maybe soon. Maybe soon. The darts duel is still the most oh, dude, that duel is crazy. They're adding all these rules during the duel. I was like, what is this? What are the duels like that? Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX has a lot of those duels too, where you feel like, oh, Jaden lost this, and then he activates some stupid ass card, and it works with one random elemental hero. Like, he'll be like, I activate this card, and since I have elemental hero claimant on the field, I can't lose the duel. And I'm like, what the fuck? So you just have this one stupid little card on the field, and that's why you can't lose. So, like, he had this spell card. I forgot what it was, but every time it looked like the villain would finish the monologue and like, it's over for you, Jaden Yuki, and then on he would, it looked like his life points were going to go down, and then he's like, I activate this spell card, and then like I would pretty much just give his life points up again. I was like, this is so ridiculous. Oh, you tore your ACL? Oh, those aren't fun injuries. Thankfully, I've never like tore my ACL. Like, that's what it felt like when I tore my PCL. I felt like, oh shit, I tore like my meniscus, MCL, ACL, something. And my doctor said, oh, I was lucky. I just tore my PCL. So, did you watch the latest episode of The Bump? I don't watch The Bump. No offense, I just don't watch it. While sparring, but walked through it until I couldn't walk anymore. Man, you tough for your own good, then, I guess. Do you listen to WWE podcasts? No, I don't. I listen to outside of WWE podcasts. I don't listen to the WWE podcasts. Bray Wyatt should return as Husky Harris. That'd be hilarious, but stupid at the same time. Why do people give Conor McGregor and CM Punk antics a pass? They have bigger fan bases than most people. Most people can relate to their antics and stuff. I think it's just more some people relate to them, and some people always give them the benefit of the doubt. A lot of people have these warm, fuzzy feelings about CM Punk and Conor McGregor, so I feel like that's why their antics get a pass. That's why I feel like it. All right, let's see what else. Let's see what else is there. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good, guys. Let me check you guys one last time, and then I'm gonna make like a baby and head out. Yep, I think that's good. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, give the video a big old thumbs up. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68. I'll see you guys soon. I'll try my best to do something a little bit different. If you guys don't know, I opened up the Spotify feed. Just check it out. I'll upload like a wrestling podcast / MMA podcast on there when I get time to film it. But other than that, hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Hopefully you guys enjoy your Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'll let you know when I go live next. Check me out on Around the Point this Friday. Have a good one, guys. Peace.